Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, today in the morning, the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi had a consultative meeting with about 35 elected parliamentarians from Western region. And it seems like this is the first time Musalia Mudavadi is having a meeting in his new official office at railway station. And this is what Musalia Mudavadi posted on his social media accounts after that meeting. I had a fruitful consultative breakfast meeting with parliamentarians from Western region today. We discussed and agreed on unity of purpose by leaders and the sharing of national resources for the region's socio-economic development. The progress of our country will be accelerated when leaders unite, focus, and advocate for the interest of the people. That is the information from Musalia Mudavadi. Now, these leaders, of course, they're not only coming from Western region. If you check, you will see some people like Tim Wanyonyi, they are from Nairobi, among others. So it means these are just Luhya leaders elected across the country meeting with Musalia Mudavadi. Of course, after this meeting, there have been a lot of speculation on what were they discussing apart from what Musalia Mudavadi has shared. So that's what we want to look into. But before we go deep into the main reason of this meeting, just a quick request. If you are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Returning subscribers, thank you so much. And to all our viewers, please consider giving our video a thumbs up. Thank you, and back to our discussion. Now, there are several reasons why Musalia Mudavadi is meeting with these leaders. And the first thing on the table, the meeting here is political meeting. It is political because these are leaders from Western region and not any other area where Musalia Mudavadi is coming from. And therefore, another thing that you need to know is that this meeting is coming at a time when two things happened yesterday. Number one, the parliamentarians from Western region had a press conference at the National Assembly building. These Azimio Luhya leaders were lamenting that the Azimio la Umoja coalition party had left them out from all the key leadership positions in both National Assembly and the Senate, whether it is the minority whip or all those positions, or minority leader, or the chairmanship in various meetings. They were clear that they had been left out. And they also raised the issue of Yala, that again, no one has helped them to lobby for one of their own from Western region. Remember, in the last parliament, in Western, we had two leaders, one from Kakamega and another one was coming from Bungoma in Yala. But right now, there's no one from Western region. According to them, and I had analyzed earlier, they believe that Western voted largely for Railaodinga, and of course, majority of members of parliament in Western are in Azimio and not Kenya Kwanza. So that's where their slot was, but they were looked down. Number two, this meeting again is coming at a time when the ODM Deputy Party Leader, Wycliffe Ombetha Oparanya, had announced yesterday that he is officially leaving ODM party to focus on uniting Luhya leaders politically into maybe another direction. So as we are speaking now, Oparanya is not part of ODM party, and he has announced that he will not be supporting Railaodinga in the near future, though he has not come officially to resign from ODM party as a member. That means Oparanya is still also leaving a room for that matter. So it is not officially fully that he has left ODM party. He has just pronounced himself on this issue. So if you put these two issues together, you can start to understand who has informed this meeting and where they are heading to. Though some of the leaders are saying that, number one, the issues that have been maybe discussed in this meeting could be pushing for the finishing of the stalled project in Western region. the members of parliament in the Western region are understanding that now Musalia Mudavadi politically is number 3, but we know constitutionally it is the Wetangula who is number 3. So in case you want to push for anything, or you want to reach out to the president, it is either you are doing it through Musalia Mudavadi, who sits in the cabinet meeting, or Wetangula. But largely you will need Musalia Mudavadi because that's the man who sits in the cabinet where discussion is taking place. So to deal with the issue of installed building, they will do that through reaching out to people like Musalia Mudavadi. And then the issue of reviving of factories in the Western region. That is also another big elephant in the room. We are talking about Mias Sugar Company. We are talking about Nzoia Sugar Company. These two are a key to the Mulembe nation. It has been part of their economical backbone, and that's what has helped many leaders from Western region, even the poor of the poorest. You just plant your sugarcane, you wait for harvest, and you have something. You can easily even take your children to school. So the issue of Mias could have been at the center of this communication meeting. Number 3, the unity of Mulembe nation and the interest of the region. I'm saying this because in this meeting, we are only seeing Luhya leaders. Watu wenye wanaongea Kiluhya. Hao ndio wamekuwa kwa hii mkutano. So that shows you that they are clearly going to strategize on how to push for the Mulembe nation interest, politically and economically. And then the other issue from Musalia Mudavadi side that I can say here is that Mudavadi might be fighting for space in Kenya Kwanza government. How do you fight for space? You fight for space by bringing together the Luhya leaders. Then when it comes to maybe pushing for specific agenda in the parliament, maybe you have a motion you want to pass, you will need these people to work with you to pass such matters. So if the leaders will rally behind Musalia Mudavadi and help the Kenya Kwanza government to succeed in their maybe plan and those motion that comes in, then Mudavadi, at least he will have some say because he can be mobilizing. And again, for 2027, the people in Kenya Kwanza have learned how Mount Kenya has been able to benefit from this government because of their numbers, in terms of members of parliament and the presidential vote that they brought in the basket. So that alone, Musalia Mudavadi is seeing even how Rigathi Gachagua has been able to benefit even to an extent of becoming deputy president. And when it comes to this issue, I can see the hand of President William Samoei Ruto in this matter. Ruto is trying to engineer massive departure from ODM party to Kenya Kwanza. And is doing this one successfully through Musalia Mudavadi. This is not a new thing. Ruto tried this thing some time back, using the same Musalia Mudavadi when he was still in NASA coalition. For those who remember, there were even members of parliament who are in a Jubilee party, people like Didmas Baradha, Dan Wanyama, and all of them, Mwambu Mabonga, and all these leaders. There was a time they were having a meeting at Musalia Mudavadi's home in Nairobi. For those who remember, there were those kind of caucus, sorry. They were having those meetings. And that is how they went further to form a coalition with Musalia Mudavadi. But, of course, some leaders went back to ODM because ODM was also strategic in getting it right. So they went to poach some members of parliament, Akina Hamala, Akina Nabulindo, Akina Ayubu Savula, and the team. You can name them all. So in as much as these meetings, he did not succeed totally. Some leaders went back to ODM party. So Ruto is trying the same game he did in somewhere 2016, 27. No, 20. It was somewhere 2019 and 2020 there. He's repeating the same thing. And there could be also other serious reasons why Ruto is doing this. Rigathi Gachagua is now becoming more aggressive, and he is also consolidating the Mount Kenya region. He warned that if they will go into another election, he will be sitting on that table as an equal principal to William Ruto, because he was well aware that he was bringing half of the vote into that table. And again, seemingly, it is becoming so hard for William Ruto to work with the Rigathi Gachagua and speak same language. The same way Ruto was doing to Uhuru Kenyatta. It is now manifesting in his government, and Rigathi Gachagua could act just the same way Ruto was reacting. So he's going to contradict the president, and he is going even to engineer massive departure from Ruto before the next general election to force him to negotiate in other matters. So because of this, Ruto seemingly he might be focusing on maybe having Musalia Mudavadi as his running mate or a key player in the 2027 general election. So for that reason, you start by building from grass going up, by trying to woo Western Regional members of Parliament to come on Musalia Mudavadi's side. So now from there, you can move forward, being sure that you have a team that will work under Musalia Mudavadi, and maybe they can deliver. Now, this is the truth. If Ruto will manage to have these 35 members of Parliament moving to Kenya Kwanza side, I think it is going to be a problem for ODM party. So ODM need to re-strategize and understand how they can manage to have this their people back in the party. They should look for a way to manage to have these leaders. But if not, then it will be a problem. Because now these leaders are going to convince people on the ground. They will use some few things and here and there to do with the project if Ruto will inject some money in Western region. Especially if we can manage to wake up to resurrect Mia's sugar company. Then all those other things to do with the road and other things. It will be somehow hard for ODM party. So they have a lot of work to do. Because even you see, in this meeting, the only people who missed it is Edwin Sifuna, the Secretary General for ODM party. But again, in the other presser, he was there, even also lamenting, as other Luhya leaders were also lamenting. Another person who missed this meeting, it is Godfrey Osoti, the Vihiga senator. For him, there are also sharp division between him and Musalia Mudavadi, and that could be the reason why he did not attend. But other leaders have attended this meeting. So this is political, but I can see the hand of William Ruto behind this. And then I talked about personal interest, then the interest of the people, lobbying through Musalia Mudavadi. I don't know what to think about this, but that's just my view. So let us meet in the comment section for continuation of this conversation.